Hey coaches, what's going on? It's Coach Beast here with another video, and I have a really good one for you today. We're going to talk about how to stop spread offenses running the 6-2 defense. That's right. You can stop spread offenses while running the 6-2 defense. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do to stop these spread offenses from being explosive. All right. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel. You'll be doing me a solid. You'll be helping me reach other like-minded coaches like yourself. So number one, our goal when running this defense is to shut down the running game. You want to know why? Because most youth football teams are going to run the ball 80% of the time, regardless of what formation they run. So if they're running the spread, chances are they're still going to run the ball 80 to 85% of the time. If they're running the wing T, the double wing, the single wing, they're all still going to run the ball 80 to 85% of the time. So it's imperative for us to shut down the running game, and we want to force them to become a passing team. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Number two, we want to apply consistent pressure on the quarterback, okay? In other words, we want to cut the head off the snake. You hear me? We want to cut the head off the snake because we know if we can get to that quarterback and have him shaken up and off his game, the offense will not run as efficiently, all right? And then forcing teams to pass, all right? We want to make that team that likes to run the ball 80 to 85% of the time a pass-oriented team, because that's now when we're able to get a lot of turnovers, all right? So on the youth football level, running the 6-2 defense has so many advantages, and when we're playing against teams that like to run spread, it's really to our advantage because we know what they're going to do, right? We know what they're going to do. So if, let's say if a team is running spread and they're running in a trips package, right? We know that they got some type of bubble screen that may happen here. They may do some type of bubble screen out here to the wide receiver. They may try to get ISO in the boundary and get their best wide receiver on one of our cornerbacks for an explosive play. Or they may just try to run the ball off tackle. They may try to run the ball off tackle, or the quarterback keeps the ball and run the ball off tackle, or they try to get the edge. We know that. We know that most spread offensive teams want to get their best players in space so they can make plays. So our job in this defense, and everybody has a job here, is to shut down the key players of the game, all right? So first and foremost, this is our 6-2 sky look, all right? When we see trips or something like this, we like to go into our sky look because, number one, we don't want to give up the big play over the top, all right? We want to create a shell. We want to create a shell so if they complete a pass, we force everything down and we're not giving away these big explosive plays. It's super important to have that, because mistake that a lot of youth football coaches make is they put, their cornerbacks on an island playing man coverage. They don't have any backside help or any help whatsoever. And that's when teams get burned, right? So the way we mitigate that risk is we'll have our middle linebackers playing kind of a seams look, all right? They'll play the seams, all right, in this situation. We got cover 3 with our cornerbacks, and we got our free safety playing the middle of the field. That's the way we like it, all right? Now, we may at times have our safety roll over for help, especially if we know what they're doing, or we know that they have a tendency to throw to a certain side. We will roll our free safety to the left, to the right, whatever, action going on. So that's very important on this backside. So just think to yourself, my backside help is to create a shell and keep everything underneath. We don't want to give up any plays deep, right? We're okay with them making, a 5-yard pass and we keeping it underneath, opposed to them scoring on an explosive passing play, all right? So our defensive line is the most important part of this defense. In the 6-2 defense, I love to send 5 or 6 guys at any given time. All right. Love sending it because it adds that pressure onto the offensive line. And when you get the offensive line fatigued, rattled, guess what? It opens up a ton of doors and opportunities for you to attack this quarterback, which is our number one mission, right? So, number one, our defensive ends has a very important job. Their job is to key in on this running back, okay? Because even though the quarterback is the head of the snake, the running back may be the neck, maybe the muscle, right? So we want to shut down their best athlete, their best ball carrier. So our defensive end's job is to key in on this running back, especially if he's trying to run different sweeps and different off tackle plays. All right. So in this play where we got trips, if you notice, I didn't give an assignment to this defensive end yet, right? So in this situation, what I like to do with my DN is our rule is we don't want our defensive end to get sucked on the inside and lose the edge, lose containment on the edge, right? So he's already spread it out, right? So what we like to do is we will put him in a position to where he's playing the flats. We got him where he's playing the flats. So if they are doing some kind of bubble screen, he can go ahead and take on the blocks and create mayhem and clutter over here so we can get a very short gain or even a loss of yardage, right? We'll keep him playing flats. Now, if they got a tendency of spreading out their wide receivers and all they're doing is tossing the ball to their halfback and the halfback just got blocks on the outside, we will start telling him to, hey, let's go back into our regular assignment here, regular set, and he's just going to attack the outside like this. All right. We rather him stay to the outside, not giving up the edge, opposed to giving up the edge, and now the running back is off to the races on the sideline. We rather that running back, when he's running, he's met right here, and he has to force the ball back in some way, okay? That's when we're able to attack and clean up, and that's what has made us so successful, is that we don't compromise the edge for nobody, because we know most teams are going to run to the outside 85% of the time when they do run, okay? Very few teams, surprisingly, run to the inside or even off tackle. It's becoming more popular off tackle, but a lot of teams still love to run to the outside, right? So with us knowing this and keeping this in mind, we want to never give up that edge, okay? Even if they're showing us some type of a trips look, all right? Then with our defensive tackles, they're lined up in the C gap, okay? They lined up in the C gap. Now, a common question I get from you guys is, what if in our league we can't line up our defensive players in the C gap, right? I will have that kid lined up over a tight end, right? Have him lined up over the tight end, and then he would attack that C gap. If there's nobody over him, I would just attack the edge, all right? Their job is to attack the quarterback. I'm going to say that again. The defensive tackle's job is to come after this quarterback, all right? Our defensive end's job is to target the running back. Very important, okay? Very important to know that, all right? Then we have our noses, right? Our nose guards here. We like to send consistent double A gap pressure with our noses, all right? We love doing that. You know why? Number one, it rattles this center, and it also makes the guards uncomfortable because it's wearing them down and they don't know what we're doing. Because, see, this is just our sky look. During the course of the game, we're going to be blitzing. We're going to be doing twists. We're going to be doing all kind of different concepts, right, to really get these guys uncomfortable. And once we discover really who their weak man is, one or two, right, we're going to attack that. And we're going to keep attacking it. Then we're going to get to the quarterback. Now the quarterback rattled. Now they're trying to get the ball to their best ball carrier. Guess what? He's rattled. He's shut down. He's frustrated because he's not getting the yards that he's he's getting frustrated in the process, right? So now we're officially eating. That's what we're doing. We are eating. We're taking the soul of the offense, and usually We do this in the first and second quarter, all right? The first half of the game. By the time the third quarter happens, we already know what they're about to do. They're finna start passing the ball. They're gonna start, trying to do ISOs with goal routes. They're gonna try to do whatever they can, right, uh, to make up their lack in the running game. And that's where we're able to go into either our cloud look or our sky look. And now we're able to get a lot of turnovers because when you're rushing the quarterback and we're getting penetration back there, he's going to get the scrambling. He's going to try to figure something out. And then he's just going to throw it. He's just going to heave the ball up and hope his player catches it. That's when it gives us the opportunity to catch an interception, get a big turnover, or if this quarterback just scrambling around and our guys are breaking through, right? And we getting sacks or the quarterback is fumbling the ball again, these are turnovers. So that's why the 6-2 defense is so effective, right? And most teams that run spread, no disrespect to you if you do run the spread offense with what I'm about to say, no disrespect at all. But most teams that run the spread offense, they lack the blockers to really be able to protect the quarterback throughout the course of the game, especially if you properly taught your kids how to attack the gap control. They got the discipline and they're able to tackle. That's the big one. They're able to tackle, okay? Like once you have that locked down with your defense, you're going to be able to shut down a lot of these offenses, really, like spread guys will say, ha, I wouldn't run the 6-2 against a spread. We'll put up 44 points against you. Well, I would love to see you try. I would really want you to, if you can do that, you got a good spread offense. Okay. But in many cases, when you run in the 6-2 defense, you're able to win the trenches, right? You win the trenches. Now you're dictating the pace of the game. You're rushing the quarterback. He's rushed. The running back, running lanes are cluttered, especially on the edge. We keep forcing him to the inside. And so now they are forced to try to pass the ball in some type of bubble screen, or, they may try to do some kind of shallow cross. They may try to bring a guy in in a tight end position. They may go with more of a 1-by-2 look, tight end right here. They may try to do some stuff. Well, let me switch this up because he's covered. They may try to do something, like this. Tight end's not covered. They'll try to do some kind of seam route or anything like that, right? To try to get something to happen. We know this. We know, and I guess this is the beauty of me being a more of an offensive minded guy, because when you're offensive minded guy, you got a tendency to understand what other offensive minded guys like to do, especially when you learn their coaching philosophy, their play calling style, and the type of formations that they really enjoy running. And that's another tip, learn what your competition likes to run, right? And once you learn what they like to run, you learn what are the popular plays that are in a particular formation, right? Or in a particular offense. We know when teams do trips, they really are trying to throw a lot of bubble screens or trying to get ISO. Or if they're going to run the ball, they're trying to get space in the box, right? They're trying to get space and they'll just hand the ball off in the middle or do some kind of QB power with only, 4 or 5 guys in the box. So that's why we don't really let them dictate what we do. We're going to do what we do. And then, once we see what they're running, now we're able to adapt and adjust accordingly. All right. So that's how we run the 6-2 defense against, spread offense that's running the trips. 6-2 defense, we won a championship with the 6-2. Okay. Been one of my favorite formations to run for the last 15 years. That, the 4-4 Reaper defense, and the 4-2-5 defense. And of course, if you want to learn more about any of the defenses that I run, I got my playbooks down in the description box below if you're interested in that. But our goal at the end of the day, no matter what defense we run, the principles don't change for us. Okay. We're trying to shut down the running game. Okay. We're trying to apply consistent pressure to the quarterback. We do this by sending 5 or 6 guys consistently in different spots. All right. Very important. And number 3, we like to force teams to pass. Okay. We like to force teams to pass. If we're playing a team that's a legit passing team and it's actually good, we may get into our 4-2-5 defense. Okay. And combat those teams that way. Now, if you notice here with the 6-2 defense, we can flex this into a 4-2-5. We can flex this. Our defensive end is practically the same guy. We'll flex him back. He become our star. Let me see here. He'll become our star. Flex him back. We'll flex him back. Now he's our boundary safety, right? And so the assignments and the job slightly changes because now we're more in a 4-2-5 defense. Well, now we're flexing, right? But we know they got a weak offensive line. Man, we'll go back into the 6-2 defense and we'll take it to them, or we'll run our 4-4 Reaper defense and take it to them. And it just all depends on what they're giving us and what they're showing us. All right. All right, coaches, that's it. I hope you got value from this video. Again, if you did, please hit that subscribe button, that like and subscribe button to help this video get out there. All right, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. And of course, if you're interested in any of the playbooks, just go down to the description box below and I have all my links for you to get more connected with me and know what I offer. All right, guys, that's it with this video. But until next time, win more games, score more points, and beast out. Peace.